listening, just pulling in here, going out from the side. I'll be here listening. That's right.
1523, we already checked with them and they advised they can't do that at this time.
I wanted to say hello. My name is Adam. I'm in Portland City, Vermont, United States. Back over to you, sir. WG1 8AM.
This is Oscar Zulu 13 Juliet Kilo responding. Yes, hello Adam, nice to talk to you. Always nice to get a contact through to the USA, no doubt about it. Just like the contact just before with your other fellow countrymen with Don. It was a nice conversation indeed. And this can also be, no doubt about it. So yeah, nice to get a contact through. And yeah, the time in Denmark here is 4:26 during a very, very early morning, and I haven't been to bed yet. Oh my goodness. I think that's a problem, that. But however, when you're on the radio, it's all good fun and enjoyable, no doubt about it. So yeah, and I'm using a radio to be reaching my hotspot, so and it seems to be working. I had some problems a few minutes ago with another hotspot, so this seems to be working a lot better. However, there's a problem. This hotspot, I only have it. Well, I have it as a loan, you know. I've learned it from a friend of mine. He's been so kind to have me use it for a period. So I have to if I'm allowed to buy it. so yeah. Well, microphone back to you, Adam. This is Oscar Zulu 13 Juliet Kilo.
Well,
that's very nice indeed. This is WG1 8AM. I actually come through to you. I know it's unusual for fans stuff. I have a CSA 100 consistency. CSA 100 to the fixed rental play, and I'm coming through a hot dog. I have a second one that another hand I built for me, and I had built the second one and built it. And then this third one I just built as a project. And you want to look me up on QRZ, I can walk you through building your own. And I'll tell you really quick, all you need is a Raspberry Pi Zero, an DDM pad, which you can get from AliExpress or CHINO, and a case, which I like the C4 last one on eBay, but you can get one through AliExpress, a metal one. And I would force traffic. That's a Golf 3. Pete Oscar 6, Bravo Garciera.
This is also Zulu 13 Juliet Kilo. I'm not sure, Adam, if you're still there. I think I've lost you at the point. I heard about you. You were talking about building with all of these bits and pieces. However, it seemed to me that you were killed at the point. I'm not sure if the problem is in my end. I'm just listening for a few seconds.
But yeah, everything is fine. How much it's up? How you doing?
Focus free. Trying to put the razor.
Yes, Adam, I've got you this time. So yes, the microphone back to you, Adam.
You can go ahead that way.
Northern Arkansas.
Yeah, I can give one better for you.
Hot stuff. If your friend doesn't tell you that, like I said, all you need is a Pi Zero, micro SD card, something to flash that with, and a couple of parts, less than $40 US, and it's working fine. Back over to you. WG1 8AM.
I'm in a park, and we've been hovering around 74, 75. I'm sure for this day, but that's where we were a couple of days ago. And just look, sky's clear. The wind is swaying the palm trees. And I'm looking out the window and trying to see what's going on with nature. But everything up here is good.
You'd be reaching the nearby repeater. However, there is problems with the repeater, so it's doing some repairs, you know. So that's the reason for me to be using the hotspot. I'm not used to be using digital things. I'm from the world of analog, so you know, 27 megahertz TV radio, 6 meters, and upper sideband and all these stuff. So this is quite new for me actually. And I must say that my skepticism about this has proven to be the opposite, you know, because I was not that much into this digital radio stuff. It seems to be a good thing. That's very nice. As mentioned to your other American friend, that it's nice people, you know, who start here. I have a very deep conversations during these few weeks and months. So a lot of nice people and a lot of good contacts. So that's very nice. So thank you for sharing information about building a hotspot. Perhaps I will do that in the future. I'm not going to you, Adam. These two boys are one of the Juliet Mike. This is Oscar Juliet.
Interesting. A place that I think manufactured tires, but they had this building that was made out of, or made to look like something out of, Alibaba or something.
730, Drive.
29 days or whatever. It was very interesting architecture. But beyond that, there was like, citrus. And so at certain times of the year, it would smell like the orange blossoms or the lemon blossoms. Do you recall that?
Well, I'm not sure if I was talking about the same one. Our tire manufacturer, but it was off of Telegraph Road in East Los Angeles, and they had their further buildings look like a castle, and now they call that the Citadel, and they sell clothing and all kinds of shopping goodies out there, but now it's the Citadel. The Orange Grove, that's doing in Norwalk. They have houses, a lot of oranges. They have Orange Grove strawberries and cows. We will send the Detroit Georgia service. That's what was here, and we enjoyed it.
There with the makers that how to be candy for people out there.
Yeah, thanks for the course correction with the complex in my head, but it was the Citadel. I know that's the place you're talking about. I've seen the modern incarnation, and then I was remembering from my childhood that was the original building with this crazy cool architecture. I have to look it up. It was designed after something. But on the other side of the freeway, wouldn't that be City of Commerce? And I think they had a really cool indoor pool somewhere down there. Did you know that?
But other than that, yeah, your audio is sounding good. I was making a trip, but of course with DMR, we're going from a hotspot and coming through our internet. Sounds good.
And I think he took on some time or something to get in and swim through. And yeah, that was a good way to spend some time.
Here, sorry about that, but yeah, definitely appreciate the feedback. You sound good and I appreciate the chat, but I'm call her night. Again, thanks for the chat and send it into you.
Got my curiosity. There were only so many places to be worn out there, but I guess back in the day there was always, grandma's bedroom, I guess, or something. But so I was born at White Memorial Hospital. I was telling her as a little kid I was born in the frozen food section of Safeway. That was the modern supermarket that was right next door. So were you born at like General Hospital or even the same place I was born, or where were you born?
I need to do that in the future to get my own hotspot to make it work. So it's quite nice to be active here on this run, Meister. So and by the way, perhaps you know it already. My name is Torben. Tango Oscar Romeo Bravo Echo November. The name is Torben. I live in Copenhagen. Just get all these formalities in order. No reason to forget the name, So yeah, well. Yeah, I think I need to make it in the future because I'm going to miss this when I'm returning the hotspot, which belongs to a good friend of mine, Oscar Zulu 1 Papa Quebec. His name is Björn, and he lives about 1 kilometer away from my QTH. So he leaves his hotspot back. I think it's a month from now. So yeah. Well, Jeffrey, microphone back to you. This is Oscar Zulu 132.
It was like one of the longest times out there. Remember those ways that drive on that tunnel? I think went past terminal annex in 40 days.
There's more formality here. My QTH is Orange Park, Florida, familiar with where Florida is in the U.S. I'm in northern corner state, where Georgia and Florida comes together. I'm probably about 16 miles road-wise from the beach ourselves. Kind of interesting because the 10 freeway that we're right off of is the same 10 freeway that I grew up near in California over on the west coast. So I ended up on the east coast along the highway. So everybody kind of gets to check a lot of that. Anyway, the DMR, you'll get used to it, and it'll become really familiar, and next thing you know, you're getting intricate code plugs, radios, so that you can try to line all the different covers. There are thousands of covers, so your hobby is covered, your interests are covered, everything like that. Anyway, Top Route 91 kind of a technical Top Route, where we kind of reach out and make contact and go for and it is not like in my long and I really have enjoyed listening to the speaker. Anyway, I will let you go, and I will say WC from WW4PSA. I will be clear on your flight.
There's nothing special going on. I'm glad I got this. I have this radio going. Just not to go from Club out. Got me squared away, and I really appreciate that. And so I'm having a lot of fun with this. I'm enjoying this every moment I get on. But nothing exciting going on over here in this end.
My mother told me that story a few years ago. However, a few years ago, I was visiting Sweden. The neighbours of ours here in Denmark. So I went to the city of Malmö. That's very nice. That's a very nice day, no doubt about it. So, however, I'm not much of a traveller. I'm not sure what the reason is, because I'm very interested in different cultures and to meet and talk with various people from all over the world. However, I'm not much of getting myself to go the distance, from point A to point B on the globe. So it's a weird thing with me. So I had the opportunity last year. I was offered the opportunity to travel with some radio amateurs, a friend of mine, to Greenland. They have an expedition every year to Greenland. However, I said no because I need to leave home. I haven't been away from home that much, so I'm getting homesick and all these problems, So it's a bit of a problem when it comes down to the point. However, I of course know about Florida from the various movies and things, documentaries on the television and all that. So of course I know about it, but I'm not totally familiar with it. So that's it then. And by the way, about the DMR, this Grandmaster, I have been active every now and then. I've been coming and going with some courses, So I am familiar with the talk group 91 to some extent. So Jeffrey, enough of my traveling problems. Microphone back to you. Whiskey 4 Bravo Sierra Alpha. This is Oscar 132 Juliet Kilo. And by the way, I'm sorry.
November X-ray 1 Quebec. W5SNA. Are you here on Bridge?
Not a problem. Not a problem whatsoever. OD13JK from WW4 BSA. No, I completely understand. I'm kind of the same way. I'm the gypsy family. I'm the one who grew up in California. Lived down in Panama. I was in the military. Lived in Panama and West Germany and all kinds of places. Ended up here on the East Coast. Lived in Washington State for a while. So we're kind of switching between anyways, I put you in my WRL, and if you put me in QRZ, I will confirm that when I get home. Again, I'm mobile right now. So when I get home, I will have the information I need to confirm if QRZ would agree with mine.
Turn on class, David. Head Alpha.
73, we will hopefully fit you in the wall later down the line. OD13,
and outgoing 215 use and 215 history.
It's getting a little close now bedtime, so we pulled out a little early and headed to the house. We have Kilo responding. Yes, David, thank you for the conversation. It has been a huge pleasure of mine. There's no doubt about it. And I hope to talk to you another good time. I will be so kind to confirm our conversation and that. So that's very nice indeed. Have a good time in your country. And by the way, the time in Denmark is 4:44. So there was a lot of number 4:44. Oh, that sounds very interesting. It was now 4:45. So now it's boring. Well, enough of that. Have a good time. Celebrate and bye-bye. This is Oscar Zulu 132. Get listening for other potential callers. Oh yeah.
Oscar Zulu 13 Juliet Kilo. Sir, this is N9 WFT calling.
Okay, this is Oscar Zulu 13 Juliet Kilo responding to November 9, Whiskey Foxtrot Tango. Oh, nice to talk to you again, Daniel. It's been a while. How are you?
I'm doing very well, sir. I'm doing very well. I will tell you, sir, that I've been tuning around 20-meter single sideband phone. I just had a great conversation with a friend of mine who was a maritime mobile out there on the East Coast. He was going in through I think he was in on a Droid Star, going in on Echolink, and speaking to me on the Peoria, Illinois 147-075 repeater. I will tell you, I very much enjoyed speaking to you. I will tell you that your audio is fantastic. I will tell you that your language, your English is outstanding. Your diction and your clarity is beyond a lot of folks that were actually born and raised here in the States. Very, very commendable. I will tell you, Torben, yes, sir, we have spoken several times, but it has been a while. Everything is well. I will tell you, not much is going on. I'm still in El Paso, Illinois, still located about 40 miles east of Peoria, Illinois, and still located approximately 120 miles southwest of Chicago. I will tell you, the biggest event going on around here was on July 12th of actually this year. My mother turned 83. So we had a birthday party for Mom, and everything's going well. I will tell you, sir, that I did manage to log in on the QRZ. And I will tell you that my local time is 9:46 p.m. local time. My current temperature is 75 degrees Fahrenheit or 24 Celsius. It got up to pretty close to about 30 degrees Celsius. I think it's going to get down to probably about 20 degrees Celsius or so this evening. So, my brother, back to you, Oscar Zulu 13 Juliet Kilo, N9 WFT returning, over.
They cleared about 10 minutes ago, but as far as they understood, the vehicle is still there. They're going to check with officers.
This is Oscar Zulu 13 Juliet Kilo responding.
They told me that we needed to get the tail.
Most important thing, congratulations with your mother's 83 years birthday. That's a very good thing indeed. So, here we go. It would be nice to come up that age, There's a lot of people who don't live to get to that age, so that's marvelous. Congratulations for the birthday, no doubt about it. And thank you for giving me a compliment towards my English. I am struggling with it every now and then. It's a quite weird thing for a Danish person to be speaking English. Anyway, that's the way I feel. everything is within a split-second decision. Within a split-second decision, I need to think of what I want to say, translate everything into English, figure out, am I able to pronounce this or that? If there is a word or two that is unpronounceable, to me, I have to reconstruct everything. I have to pronounce it and shape my mouth to sound English. You know, so all of these things is happening within a split-second decision. You know, the human mind is marvelous. I'm not saying I'm clever. I'm lucky to being able to communicate with a language which is not my normal language in my daily life. So, yeah, and by the way, the temperature here in Denmark is about, what's it called in Fahrenheit? 80 Fahrenheit, about 25 Celsius, and the time is 4:50 during the morning, and I haven't been off the bed yet. Very much.
But yeah, so that's great. All right, well, thank you so much, sir.
Formalities as you would say, sir. Oscar, I should be listening to the STO. This is N9WSC, sir. You know what I would say, we as radio amateurs, whether we're speaking to our fellow hams locally or whether we're speaking worldwide, we are attracted to positive, thought-provoking, stimulating conversation. And I do understand that you staying up to the wee hours of the morning at work. I will tell you, sir, that I am coming up on only 10 o'clock at night here, where it is morning there. I understand getting out there and enjoying the positive interaction with your fellow man. You know what I will tell you, on HF single sideband, a lot of the contacts are a single recording, goodbye, 5-9 and bye. I have learned, sir, that on DMR here, although we are supposed to keep our communication short, we can have real conversations that can be somewhat in-depth. Don't have to be very long, but they are real conversations. I very much enjoy real conversations on the DMR and my local theaters. And, you know, don't get me wrong, every now and then I do enjoy maybe a brief participation in the contest on HF. But all of these kind of things, I will tell you that I will tell you, sir, that we were supposed to have some severe weather come through tonight, but it did not. It's practical. I will tell you that I think that I will have to be standing near my NOAA weather alert radio tomorrow because we could get some severe weather. Well, I will tell you, Corbin, it has definitely been my pleasure to speak to you. God bless you. Wishing you the best from Central Illinois, USA. And I very, very much enjoyed listening to you speak to WW4BSA. And BSA, if you're in there, saluting your military service. Until we meet again, Brother Corbin, God bless you. You are in the law. And I will work to in the near future. Wishing you the best from Central Illinois, USA. Oscar Zulu 13, Juliet Kilo. And I, WSA, will be listening to your closing thoughts. So, you know what he's doing.
This is Oscar Zulu 13, Juliet Kilo. Well, Daniel, it has been a huge pleasure talking to you. You're one of these people on online, so you know that is sort of a celebrity, you know. Your voice is very familiar to the online stuff, so that's very nice of you to be active and saying hello to me. That's very kind of you. And I hope to talk to you another good time, no doubt about it. I will be on a few minutes more here. Perhaps there is other stations out there where we can have a conversation. And it's always nice to every now and then bumping into new people, you know, on this online. So being able to have some conversations and at the same time getting some contact to the law and to a set point C1. It's a win-win situation, I think it's talking English. So it's been a huge pleasure talking to you, Daniel. Have a good time in your country, and so happy to you. And bye-bye, this is Oscar Zulu, referring to you know, listening to callers on this frequency.
Good day, my brother. I can't wait for the next conversation. And I WSC Clear, Brandmeister, Talk Group 19.
All right, Jack, always a pleasure to speak among you here. And I will be listening.
Wow, okay. The name is Dan here. Out in November, just like Daniel in the Lions Dan, or like Daniel Boone.
Yeah, we'll be
as I'm a good old Central Illinois kind of redneck kind of boy. Hey, thank you very much for the call. Sir, I did need to shout out to you. I will tell you that I'm a U.S. Army veteran myself. I was on active duty during the Lebanon Grenada Wars. I have a great deal of, I struggle immensely when people want to call something a conflict. Because if it's the real deal, it's the real deal. I wanted to salute your service as, well, my brother was a tech sergeant on a Spec AC-130H during Desert Storm and Desert Shield. I have an uncle who was in Vietnam in the Signal Corps. My father was in the Army National Guard and the Motor Corps. So I come from a landed military individual and saluting your service, sir.
Well, thank you, Daniel. I heard you coming over there, and I thought I'd get in contact with you. Yeah, my service is all in Signal. I was a multi-channel telecommunications equipment operator. I was stationed in Panama during Just Fog. I was also down in Panama during Grenada. We worked with Floating Net as well. And then I also served in Desert Storm. I was actually, believe it or not, I was assigned to a transportation company that basically moved PLL all over the desert. But because of my specialty with the Mars system, the military affiliate radio system, I was fortunate enough to get along and pick up some ATF equipment. Because of my radio background, I did temporary duty at the Mars station before this, so that fell right in line with putting Mars station out in the middle of the desert and then I'll get them to phone calls home. Including myself, I got to talk to my wife almost every night while I was in the desert, and that was kind of special. It's underground during the whole day out in the middle of the desert. But anyway, so much for all that. I just wanted to get in contact with you really quick, Dan, because I appreciate you commenting about my service and so forth, and I want to take a look at that. Appreciate you for your service as well. So you take care, and I'll go ahead and cut this a little short, and let you get on as well. WFT.
Expect United 29, not getting a proper return. Do we know what state it's at?
Alpha from November 9 Whiskey Foxtrot Tango. Jeff, I'm very pleased to meet you. Thank you for keeping Orange Park, Florida on the air. I will tell you that I will log you. I will tell you I will get you in the log here, and I want you to say, well, I want to say a couple things. First, I want to say that I'm a member of American Legion Post 59 of El Paso, Illinois. I will tell you that I received an honorable type of discharge in 1984, but I did not affiliate with the American Legion until 2018. So I've got, I don't know, probably coming up on 9 years, whatever. But yeah, I'm very interested in the call sign. Before we do that, I see the PSA. Kind of curious, are you a former Boy Scout, or was it just the elected job before you signed here, Jeff? And WP.
So, yeah, that's when I was a Boy Scout. I started scouting when I was 8 years old in elementary school. Went through and got all the way up to Eagle Scout. And after that, my dad put an application in and made me, didn't get out of it. I was an assistant scoutmaster and then went into the military and stayed after been scouting because I was not one that would go out and find all the bars and get in all the trouble. So it was actually kind of a blessing from where I went. Scouting kind of gives you a built-in family wherever you go because everybody that's pretty much in scouting has the same values. So I kept my whole military time grounded as well as my wife. She got involved in scouting as well. And currently, I'm a volunteer, still am. I've been registered for over 50 years now. And my wife actually works for the Boy Scouts of America with local council. She actually gets a check, and I just volunteer and they abuse my time. So, but anyway, so much for that. Anyway, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Daniel, you take care of yourself. And we will probably, next time we hear you, we'll reach out to you. This QSO has been very enjoyable. A little bit long for my encounters on 91. I usually keep my contacts real short since 91 is a contact and run station. So anyway, then WFT from WW4 BSA.
I'm WFT, Mr. Jeff. You know what, I want to say something real quick. You know what, they told me something, join the Army to see the world, all they did was miss the girl. Well, actually, I had a great time. I will tell you, I learned much more. I never thought I would learn, and some of the things startled me. I'm not going to get there. Once again, well, I wanted to know my father was a Boy Scout leader, and I was in Boy Scouts, I learned a lot. One other thing I want to say is that I have a friend that is affiliated with the United States Air Force Mars. Call is KV9OGS. General's name is Ryan, lives in Camden, Illinois, in Logan County. And I'm very pleased that he will share with me things that come down from the chief that he can share with civilians. God bless you, sir. Very simple for you. Yes, sir. I am getting windy. They call me a 9-Woody Forever Talker. And, brother, I'm about to stand down. WW4BSA and 9WFT 730. Great weekend. We're, unfortunately, halfway through the weekend. And had a fantastic luncheon at the Casino del Toro down in San Diego. If you have not had the opportunity to meet down there, I highly recommend the buffet. It's fantastic. Good fellowship and camaraderie and a couple presentations that were given. So it was a good time. And with that said, this resets the week. So this is a first set of announcements. So if you want to know what's going on in the PAPA system in this week coming up, please stand by.
Here are the PAPA System weekly announcements for the week of July 21st. The PAPA Orange County Luncheon. The PAPA System will be meeting in person this Saturday on July 26th at 11:30 a.m. at the Sizzler in Fullerton, 1401 North Harbor Boulevard, Fullerton, California. Everyone is welcome. Come on out and meet your on-air friends in person. We will be offering at 10 a.m. for technician, general, and amateur extra class licenses. We will also have a door prize raffle with some great ham radio door prizes that you just might possibly win. Please RSVP for attendance and for ham license testing at 10 a.m. We will have a very special presentation from Wayne, M6DAI, and Bob, KJ6UVT on the mode of Annex DA. The PAPA Quick Start Program. In conjunction with our test sessions, we have a Quick Start Program for newly licensed technicians. Our Quick Start Program is designed to get you on the air as soon as your new FCC license arrives and help you understand how to use your new radio on the PAPA system to communicate on the air. The PAPA system will provide you with a pre-programmed UHF handheld radio at no cost to you and assist you with technical and operational issues as you learn more about ham radio. More details are available at the test session and on the PAPA website. PAPA HF.net. On Sunday mornings at 8 a.m., our host, David KO6, BAF, will be calling for check-ins on 40 meters at or about 7.210 megahertz. If you are interested, click the link to add your name and call sign to David's PAPA HF.net checklist on the PAPA website. All this information and a whole lot more can be found on the PAPA website at papasys.com. And don't forget to check your weekly PAPA emails for links to all of the latest PAPA system upcoming breakfast and luncheons.
That, you know what, I will tell you that there's a community down there, you know, where they come together and they're doing the best that they can. And I will tell you, a lot of them folks are standing in their faith, and they're also helping their fellow man. They're helping their fellow man as best as they can. I will tell you, I hate to say, sometimes it takes a major disaster to bring human beings together, because you know what, we're also busy, we're texting on our phone, we're on the internet, you know what, we're worried about the working man's dollar, talking about, you know, I got mine, you get yours, but then we get that gut punch, and then we figured out that we're all humans. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Hey, Mr. David, enough of my candor or my rambling. May I please have your new call sign, sir, because I didn't get it, what am I going to do now? Nothing crazy tonight. I've got a busy day planned tomorrow, so I got to be up early. So I am definitely not ending the night early tonight. We will go as long as you guys want to go, but it'll be the traditional type of net. Just going to throw out a topic, have a discussion. No live streams, no crazy soundboard effects. Well, maybe we'll throw a soundboard effect or two in there just for fun, but it'll just be a topic, and one that we've kind of covered a little bit in a roundabout fashion. We've talked about the many musicians that are in the Papa system and the guests that join. How did you learn the instrument of your choice, and were you part of a band, that kind of stuff. We've got some really talented photographers, so I really want to kind of dive into you guys. Tell me a little bit about yourselves, or tell us a little bit about your passions in life other than ham radio. What other hobbies have you done in the past? Maybe you don't still do them, but you've done them in the past, or maybe you still do them. I met a Papa member the other day that does kite surfing, and that's one hobby I've always been kind of jealous and envious of. It just seems pretty magical out there surfing waves with the kite pulling you. So I had so many questions, and it just kind of sparked my interest that there's just so many other passions out there that we have, and I'd love to hear about it, or we'd love to hear about it, and maybe we have questions for you on how you got into it and all that. So that's the basic topic for tonight. What are your passions in life? What hobbies do you have, or have you had in the past? And let's kind of talk about it. I've been a little distraught, because there's been a lot of finger pointing, talking about first responders didn't do nothing. All the folks out there, they blaming, federal, city, county, law, talking about no weather radio, they didn't get any notice and all this and that. And then it was talking about that it was the Army Corps of Engineers, that did all that. I will tell you that I heard that area is very, very prone to flooding. And I believe that there was a lot of folks that did the best that they could. And sometimes Mother Nature is just more than human beings can handle. But I will tell you, just because it happened, it doesn't mean it's horrible. I mean, it really, really means it's horrible. I'm very sad. I will tell you that back in 2016, I lost my son. My son was 22 years old, and I lost him. It was a difference of circumstances. So you know what? I'm praying for all them people, all the first responders, everybody that did their very, very best. And I know that there are, there's still a whole lot going on down there, and I'm praying for that very much. Maybe if you've got something to say about that, I would love to hear it. But I was kind of like, hey, sir, when did you do the general upgrade? When did you do the extra upgrade? 1 through 10, thank you, gentlemen. Let's keep it moving. 1 through 20. And what there's 1 through 20. Give me that call sign phonetically and your first name.
Finished off the 10, actually longer than that, because it took like 18 days for me to get the new call. But yeah, I took the amateur and knocked that out. I knocked the general out like about a week prior to that. Actually 2 weeks prior to that, I did the general, and I said, I'm going to just go ahead and go for extra. I was in the middle of studying and kept it moving, kept it going. And on the flooding situation, I mean, it's a hard call there on that, because, we've been in drought for years. And the amount of rain that fell in so little bit of a time, even if they did get the warnings out, I honestly, in my opinion, me personally, I don't think I could have got out of my house in that length of time with that wave of water that fell and came down, but how it goes. Mother Nature is very unpredictable. Back to you.
Go Winks, All-Stars, come now. Go in on the BFT. You know what, I've been trying to pay attention, what's going on in this weather stuff. Sir, I will tell you around the Gulf, there's several states around the Gulf there. You know what, I will tell you, don't get me wrong, I mean, I understand the Gulf down there, in between Panhandle of Texas, so to speak, in Panhandle of Florida. And in between there, it's been renamed the Gulf of America. Now, I get it. But to me, I'm sorry, it's still going to be the Gulf of Mexico. But anyway, a lot of them folks who live on that Gulf Coast, I know that they had a lot of stuff going on. I know recently down there Mexico got hit. I know recently that, sir, there have been tropical storms and all this and that. There's a lot of stuff going on. I will had a lot of rain out there stateside, too. I will in the state of New Hampshire. Some places out there, last week they had 6 inches of rain. And I don't know, and I ain't trying to take this to, I ain't talking about, what all this weather stuff that they talk about. I will tell you that, whether a synopsis in the situation has been changing for thousands of years, I will tell you that, we need to stay up on top of it. But one thing that we are not going to be able to control totally is the weather. Now, I do understand that certain things can be controlled. A cloud seeding won't make it rain, and, people talk about all that stuff going on with the HAARP in Alaska and all this and that. But almost all the time, you never know what Mother Nature is going to throw at us. And a lot of times, Mother Nature will come at us with both barrels. We got to do what we can do, sir. So, hey, you know what, David, I will tell you that, hey, you know what? Stand by. I think I'm running high.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's quite wrong with it just yet, but y'all figure it out eventually.
Your area amateur radio club net is at 8 p.m. Local time. I'm sure you can cross that over to the UTC. I'm hoping we can get in there on the W9 UVI 075 Sunday night net. I'm pretty sure if you're on the DMR, you probably get out there to a few more VOIP modes, and maybe even bring Lone Star State up here to Illinois over. And jet skis. Maybe we've got some of those out there tonight that can share with us how it didn't go well for me. I think I never really stayed on it longer than a few seconds, so it's quite a bit of balance, and it takes a little getting used to, so I just didn't have it. But yeah, the water skis and jet skis and that kind of stuff I've always enjoyed. So, all right, Dale, thanks for checking in and sharing with us tonight. Let's keep on moving down the list here tonight. Whiskey Tango 6, Tango Brian, welcome to the net.
DMR can get into DC Life, and they have a digital net on Wednesday nights and Thursday nights. And the one on Thursday nights has some real top-end experts on digital. And they're always willing to help out. So it's something you might want to check out. Even if you figure this part out, it's really educational to listen to that Thursday night net. W7DCA, back to you.
Maintaining an avid interest in music of all kinds. And thanks for doing that. Whiskey Tango 6.
Loop the location to make sure that you're holding the antenna vertical.
intrigued me. It's definitely something I think I could have got into if my path just went that direction. I went a very different direction, but I'm very much I really am critical of my own audio, and I'm always working with Mike K6OLY, who's also got the audio engineering background, and fine-tuning audio with each other. So I'm critical of audio. Everyone out there should be critical of your audio. Let's put really good signals out there on the Papa system. But yeah, love to pick your brain on that topic next time at the Big Bear cabin when we're up there. So all right, Ryan, thanks for checking in tonight, and don't be afraid to come on back if you like. Let's keep on moving down the list here. I know he's out at the cabin. He's having a good time. I know hiking's high on his list. Steve, KI6LOV, welcome to the next. We'll be listening for your file. I will now be clear. Over.
Evening to you, Darren, and everyone on the net. Before I ramble on, how's my signal?
QSO and what's the just test it out.
50-50. Respond good to.
All right, very good. My name is Steve, and I was born in Santa Monica, California in 1952. And I grew up going to the beach all the time. My parents always went to the beach. My dad was a fisherman, and I became a surfer at an early age. That was the thing to do, and I surfed all up and down the coast. Later on in my teens and early 20s, I became a backpacker in high Sierras, and then when I started junior college at Santa Monica College, I was introduced to the cabin here in the Angeles National Forest in Leander for a moment.
49. I think Logan here on the 32, right?
A bicycle rider, and I did all the 100-mile rides all over Southern California for about 10 years, and trying to balance that with coming out to the cabin, and those were sometimes there between probably I was 35 and 50 doing all that cycling, and right now I'm out here at the cabin. It's a beautiful evening, and if you haven't already checked it out, I'm pretty sure you can go on the website and search for Steve Cabin, and you'll see all about it there. Great job tonight there, and KI6LOV.
All right, Steve, like I always tell you, every time you check in from the cabin, I'm jealous. I know I'm going to get out there one of these days and enjoy that with you, just to kind of hang out, talk some stories, and just spend the day out there. So we'll make it happen one of these days. And like Steve said, if you haven't seen his cabin out there, our friend who will be getting to here shortly, K3MAT Matt, did a fantastic, I would say it's a documentary of a day in the life of out in Steve's cabin. So it's on the Papa website. Don't be afraid to swing by there and check it out and see what Steve's working with out there. It's pretty cool. So thanks again, Steve, for checking in. All right, let's keep on going. Let's M6HAL Hal. I didn't get to talk to you today at the luncheon. I did see you, so apologize for that. Things get a little busy sometimes with talking to folks, and for some reason just didn't get to say hello to you in person. So I hope you enjoyed the luncheon. When I did a radio system many years ago, I was letting go with 450 because all the zillion time ratings were well. Several times over the years, I've had the occasion to go over to the Peoria, over there to the air shows. I've seen some fantastic stuff. Oh man, Lord, you know what I've said? I will tell you that the first thing I'm thinking of was the C5. You could probably put 4 or 5 buses in that big thing, and I will tell you that well, from Peoria, they got some Chinos. They got Chinos over there, right? And I will see them in the triangular formation and all kind of stuff over here. And it is just, it makes me so proud to know that we got folks. We got folks that are still willing to stand up and do what's right and face, well, shall I say, the unfriendly. Back to you, Jeff.
No railroad set. And afterwards, my son and I did a lot of playing with model trains and helping my dad build the layout. And as I got older, I took over a layout that he had built when he retired. He didn't finish, so I finished it up. And I had that for about 5 or 10 years. Then I moved around and run a model railroad layout, so that kind of went by the wayside. Break. Back when Birmingham, the girls, I'm going to have the hotspot in the car functioning. That's why I brought it in tonight to do a couple of little updates to it. And I'll try to have it. I had it over there the other day, and I had Logan's car. And when we started back, I talked to Connie and Chuck. I think you've never even been there, but Chuck said to be driving down the road with hotspot in the car right there in the busy part of Birmingham. He was doing pretty good. So that's pretty interesting when we do that.
What do you think from there? How did that never gets old. So I have a good night. Logan will catch you later. I know I'll talk to you some more down the road. So we'll catch you all after tomorrow's time. I'll keep around after. So we'll be on sometime between tomorrow and tomorrow night. We'll catch you all after you.
I ain't going to go there. But yeah, you know what? There's a lot of change according to the physical fitness testing. I know that there's going to be a lot more young ladies active in special forces, what have you. And I will tell you, just for the record, I did try to stay up on top of that Best Ranger deal that they had lately. I got a buddy of mine that is ex-U.S. Army Air Assault. A buddy of mine lives in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and he usually keeps me up to date. Yeah, he's ex-U.S. Army Air Assault. He was, it got down to the wire, and he was just seconds away from being activated until they told him to stand down. And I got a cousin that went to Fort Campbell. Sorry for another day, Jeff. 73, Jeff. WW4 BSA and 9WFT 73. Away here tonight, but let's keep moving down the list here. KO6 Hotel Romeo X-Ray. Gary, welcome to the net tonight.
This is coming in.
Thanks, Darren, and everyone on the net. Hobbies. 2 hobbies. One, been doing for many years, is reloading ammunition, ranging from 380, 9, 40, 10, 357, 38, 45, no 50s, and rifle, we've got 223, 30 carbine, 308, 30 30 Winchester. That's been my, keep me busy and keep my brain really functioning. And I have one other one.
Yeah, I wish we had some way to find out if that tower was a staple or not.
What is that thing, about 8 foot tall?
I think maybe 60. Somewhere from 50, maybe, I think closer to 60. Pretty big, there.
Go to my ammo, I just shake my head and go, man, I need to start learning how to reload. The prices are getting out of hand, but yeah, I try to be an avid shooter at the range, keeping my skills sharp. One of my post-retirement goals was to become just a really good mover and shooter at the range, and but that takes ammo, and ammo's not cheap, so yeah, reloading's the way to go. Sounds like you got it covered there. Definitely got to pick your brain next time I see you on how to get into it. All right, Gary, thanks again for checking in tonight. Got a new check-in here, K6ISS, what a cool call sign there. Alonzo, welcome to the Saturday Roundtable.
I was just asking what happened to the tower that was on Main.
I told him I might try to come by there and get it, even the next day or two after it was sold. The day that it was sold, it was gone.
I apologize, one of my radios fuses just blew up. Anyway, yeah, one of my other hobbies and radio is astrophotography. I am heavily invested into my astrophotography gear, and I spend many hours taking photographs of the deep sky objects while I'm also on the radio. The telescope is capturing a lot of these beautiful objects on the space. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, hundreds and hundreds of pictures put together in order to come up with one of those big, beautiful nebulas or galaxy pictures. So yeah, that is one of my other big hobbies that I have. My field pattern.
Well, that is awesome, Orlando. Well, first off, I hope your radio's okay. Hope we blow anything up there, but if it's just a few, that's an easy fix. But this is exactly where I was hoping to find some very unique niche hobbies that are a little unusual. So I'm going to come back to you. I'd love to hear, or we'd love to hear a little bit more about it. What kind of gear is involved in, and you don't have to get too technical for us, but maybe in layman's terms, what type of lens does it take? Do you have a camera behind a telescope, or what kind of equipment does it take in astrophotography to get some of those? And I've just seen some amazing photography. I'd love to see some of yours. I don't know if you post it online anywhere, but if you do, share those socials with us. We'd love to check out your work. But back to you. What type of equipment does it take to get those amazing shots?
Yeah, of course. You can get started just with a simple DSLR camera. The most important thing is the base that the camera is going to be mounted on, because this base needs to move at the same speed and rotation as the earth. So usually these bases are not cheap, but you can get a little entry. It's called a equatorial mount. For maybe about $400 or $500. So your camera, your DSLR camera, so that's maybe another $300. And using that, you can get started. You need a lot more, but the result won't be as impressive as many other photographs that you see online. My current gear, my picture one is about $3,000. Telescope, maybe another blue, and for sure, I mean, total, I probably have about $10,000 invested in my gear. And of course, from there, money buys a lot of stuff, right? Your telescope, you can pay $23,000 for a really good telescope that will bring you amazing results. But yeah, you can get started with maybe about $1,000 once of gear.
Well, much appreciated, Alonzo. That's a very intriguing hobby for sure. And any hobby these days is expensive, but some are just more than others. I'm into downhill mountain biking, and I think my cheapest bike is in the $6,000 area, and I've got a couple, so I totally understand that. Sometimes to get some of the top brands, it takes a little bit of money to get into it, but I can imagine that one can get really cheap pretty fast with all the different options out there. So very cool. Love to see some of your work out there. Do you post it online at all?
Yes, I do have an Instagram page. It's called Area Astro. That is MARYAE _ Astro, ASERO. I just have a few pictures in there, and very much.
You what's up in the inside?
That sounds good, and appreciate it, and I'll give you a call phone number some moment. If I don't see one.
Now, you back on people on this?
That's why I'm just back on 31285.
Okay, we'll have to figure out why you're not receiving through I don't want to contact. I don't know. Maybe it's probably one. All right, we'll get you later.
So I'm terribly sorry. I'm with you now. The station from Mexico. What was the name? I forgot. Francisco, I think it was. Sanchez, I think. So yes, hello, Francisco. Nice to talk to you. The name here is Torben, as mentioned just before, and I'm from Denmark, Copenhagen. The time is 5:30. During the very early morning in Denmark, and it's a bit hot outside. The temperature is 25 Celsius or 80 Fahrenheit, plus minus. So I'm using a mobile radio, a Rativis RT73. I'm transmitting 5 watts to my nearby hotspot, so that's the working conditions here in Denmark. Microphone back to you, Francisco. X-ray Echo 1, Sierra Hotel Yankee.
Oh, that was fun. Speed. But now, it's art, always art, and motorcycles. Talk about yin and yang. Moto camping, I love camping with a motorcycle and go touring with a motorcycle and take off and go places. Did 2 rides this week just because I could. It felt pretty good. So, art, always in art. Glass, hot press steel, mosaics, 2D painting. It's all there. I just love to create. So now, those in small farmhouse, there you go. There's the laundry list. 868.
We'll just give me a shot tomorrow. I think after our time, we'll do it.
We're rolling out a new topic here in the Senate Roundtable. I don't know exactly how we're going to do it. We're going to kind of figure it out here. Probably this week I'm going to work with my two buddies that are always in the background with me, scheming up these crazy ideas on the Senate Roundtable. But we're going to get a topic called Get to Know Your Fellow PAPA Member. And it'll be interview style, so you're going to be on that list. So you better be able to get ready for that one. We're going to interview you. We're going to hear about your past. You're going to tell us all about it. So we'll probably start it off with Cecil and a few others, but that'll be a topic that comes around maybe once a month and be formatted into the net format. So it'll be unique. I have to work out the details still, so we'll see how it works out. But you have a very interesting past and present, so we'd love to hear about it. But again, thanks, Ellen, for checking in tonight, and I'm going to keep on going down the list here. Kilo Zero Echo Charlie Kilo, I think it was. Boy, that was a tough one for you to get in my mouth. Gail, welcome to the Saturday Roundtable.
This is Oscar Zulu, 13 Juliet Kilo.
This is Kilo Zero Echo Charlie Kilo, and we live in Kyle, Texas, and yes, my name is Gail. Oh, how this is. Well, my husband and I love to garden, and sometimes our gardening means that I like to watch plants grow, and I don't always use them in a timely manner, but anyway, but yes, otherwise I love to create recipes out of things I grow, and things I find interesting in the store, and what else? Hang on, let me think.
Once you recording, Jackie, back to you for your fight on 7 to 3.
I like life. I don't know how else to say it. And I like, I guess, I don't know if it's a hobby or what, but I like to be a part of helping somebody else find joy. And I guess that's my biggest hobby, just willing to be a part of somebody else finding joy. And I love my cat. And I love the person I'm married to, so I guess my hobby is taking care of them too. Please release again, back to you.
Things in different ways, and the things that we have in common is that we are all different. That makes us so similar. So we're not that much different, I think. So it has been a pleasure talking to you. Have a good time in your country, and celebrate to you, and bye-bye. This is Oscar Zulu, 13 Juliet Kilo, listening for other potential callers.
Gardening and cooking, and I'm sure the ladies would love to have you on that net as well. So put that down in your calendar, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time on every Saturday here on the PAPA system. So just a net for the ladies. So all right, thanks again, Gail. Moving on down my list, the next lady on my list, K3MAT, Matt. How are you, buddy?
Hey there, Darren. Thanks for picking up the net as always, and good evening to you and everybody else out there in PAPA land. Gosh, hobbies, there's so many that come and go, and some do for a while. And I've got a few areas. I used to road bike a lot. I'm looking to get back into that. Really would like it. And whenever summer comes around and the Tour de France comes on, it really inspires me to get back into it. I really should have a sweet road bike and all that kind of stuff back when I was growing up in my 20s when high school football was over. But I mean, I've done some photography, drone. I don't have time to do a lot of this stuff, so I have just bought a bunch of backup power for power items, so a bunch of really high-end factory stuff. So yeah, on a nerd level, collecting backup power and fine-tuning, getting all the right cables and all that, figuring out how well your appliances run on certain levels of power is my new geek out. So I can file that into prepper. Anyways, that's enough for me. Kilo 3 Mike Alpha Tango. Back to the net. Thanks, Darren.
There's something we'll consider next week. You have no DEP card, and there are no loss of packages over.
Stuff also in very intrigued in getting into it and having a pretty nice system in the house that's kind of built in that kicks in. So we'll talk more about it. But yeah, so road biking for me, I would love to get into it because as a mountain biker, the one thing I envy road bikers is you can just open the garage and go. I have to go and load the bike onto my car and then drive to a location where I can go mountain biking. A little bit more involved and more difficult. So definitely would love to be able to just jump on a bike and go. But man, just traffic and cars. I see so many people getting hit by cars that they're still keeping an eye out. So even though hauling my bike down a mountain at 30 miles an hour is equally probably as dangerous, for some reason I internalize it as better than getting hit by a car. But yeah, I've kind of had the gambit of hobbies myself. A little bit about me, for those that don't know, I did a lot of rock climbing in my younger years. Had a pretty significant hand injury in the military that kind of stopped my ability to climb rock for a while, so that kind of took a back seat. But maybe that's where the tower climbing comes back in for me here. For those that don't know, I do the majority of PAPA's tower climbing, and I definitely relied on some of those rock climbing skills, and definitely the ropes and suspensions and some of the equipment definitely carries over between those two. I'll call it a hobby, even though it's part of my volunteer work for the PAPA system. Climbing the tower is fun, challenging at times, and kind of scratches that itch for me. I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie, and so yeah, that's how I've gotten into that side of things. But thanks for bringing those up, Matt, and like I said, we'll talk more about the power stuff, enjoying the pictures that you're sending my way. So, all right, let's keep moving down the list. Jeff, up there in the Bay Area, 86MB, welcome to the Saturday Night Roundtable.
Hey, Darren, thank you very much for doing that. Yeah, it's 86MB, San Francisco Bay. Yeah, when I was younger, I enjoyed doing some backpacking, and I grew up in the Seattle area, so I'll go up in the hills around Mount Rainier and hike and camp out with Boy Scouts, and with my buddies we go camp on the coast of Washington, which is really nice. About 3 months of the year when it's not raining. But also then I got into wargaming, which is you read battles, famous battles and that on our map board, and you have counters representing different armies. And I learned a lot about history because that's my next thing I got into, and still am. I like World War II history, and I like Roman history, back with Julius Caesar and the whole, Cicero and a lot of the famous orators and whatnot in Rome. Yeah, I coached my kids in soccer for 5 years, and really enjoyed that. I have 4 kids, and 3 of the 4 played soccer. Then I coached soccer. The youngest one was she played for another team, so I couldn't be at 2 places at once. So And then, let's see here. Yeah, just history. I read about history and technology. I love technology. I worked at Cisco for 9 years as a network engineer and thoroughly enjoyed that. And then basically I worked at AT&T for 25 years. And that ended up getting me a job in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I moved down, and I've been here ever since. So I just like technology. That's probably my main passion, and reading and learning. So now turn back to the net. Thanks again for joining AB600.
Torben, Tango, Oscar, Romeo, Bravo, Echo, November. The name is Torben. I live near Copenhagen, the capital in Denmark. Go ahead, sir.
3J Juliet Kilo. This is Kilo Charlie 3 Uniform November India Oscar Zulu 1 3 Juliet Kilo. I've used several Cisco products throughout the years. I've moved over now. My home network is all ubiquity stuff, and I think that's just because their setup stuff is easy for us. I don't know what we're doing when it comes to networking. Their setup process is pretty good for us. So, but yeah, very good, Jeff. Thanks again for checking in and sharing all those hobbies with us. I also, like I said, got into coaching my kids, and it was in a sport that I had never played physically. I mean, I've been a fan of football. It's probably my #1 watched sport. Though it's the off season, we'll start up for a few more weeks here, but. Just like anything, the coach needed help, and he asked if I can learn how to teach the defensive line, and that's how I got into coaching football. Started watching lots of YouTube, went to coaching lyrics, got the hang of it, and when you teach at top 1, you're just teaching the basics. So yeah, so I got into coaching football. So all right, Jeff, thanks again, and that brings me to the bottom of the list here. So let's see how Rick's doing up in San Antonio. Kilo Oscar 6 Delta Golf X-ray. Welcome to the net.
Say no doubt about it. I have been talking to various people from your country a bit earlier this night. So the time here in Denmark is 5:43. So we are doing a very early morning here, and I'm off to bed in a few minutes. So when the radio is on, I'm not thinking about going to bed that much. So it's a good and a bad thing at the same time, you know. However, it's always marvelously nice to talk to people from various places all over the world. So Woody, it is a great pleasure talking to you, and it's nice to be among the first stations who is in your log from the outside of the USA, if that's the case anyway. So I will add you to my log on floorset.com. I hope that you will do the same with me, so we can also confirm each other's conversation here. So I'm using a mobile radio, a Rapid RT73, and I'm reaching my hotspot, so that's the working conditions in this end. And so back to you, Woody. Kilo Echo 9, Delta Lima uniform. This is Oscar Zulu 13 Juliet Kilo.
We took my 10 days. We went on the bonus waiting, and after that was surfing, and after that, just hanging out on the ranch and doing ranch stuff like, today with ranch. So there's a lot to do with wild animals out there. But then, tonight, I was actually, when you come here, I for tonight, 5 o'clock, going to a Marshall, 12-inch flash, and then I'm just going to play music again, so I'm at the big circle. Thanks a lot.
It's 11:45 p.m. here in Indiana, where I'm at. I understand you had a long night. You're getting ready to go to bed, so I will be clear on your final. I wish you 7 3s and a good night's sleep there, sir. This is KE9BLU. I'm clear after your final.
Pretty consistent in the 510C, 511 area, but never free soloed. Just wasn't the part of the hobby I wanted to do. So kudos to you for following that high. I was doing a lot of triathlon and got myself in pretty quick getting it where I didn't have a piece of gear to fit the crack I was dealing with, and getting tired, and I finally got a piece set that was good enough to get lowered down off of. But after that, I kind of struck up with sport climbing and bouldering and things like that. So I do miss those days. I don't do much anymore. Tower climbing was a bit easier on the hands and feet than the rock is. So that's equally as challenging in other ways. So again, Brett, thanks for checking in. So let's go to the bottom of the list here. Go back an idea real quick. My name is Aaron WD6 USM. I am new to the net. This is the 7 Roundtable here in the Fox System, where we talk about topics that range from other than ham radio. Everything else is pretty much on the gambit discussion. Tonight we're talking about what is your passions, hobbies, either something you've done in the past or you're currently doing. Tell us a little bit about yourself. This is kind of a get to know your fellow Papa member or guest of the Fox System. We want to hear from you. So with that, I will take a second round of check-ins. Anyone, anywhere, come now.
Sorry for letting you wait. I'm almost forgetting you at the same time. Where are my manners? Forgive me. Nice to get in contact with you. My name is Torben, Tango, Oscar, Romeo, Bravo, Echo, November, and I live near Copenhagen on an island here in Denmark, and I'm using a mobile radio to be reaching my hotspot. So yes, back to you. Go ahead, sir.
Frequency on next band is 146.470.
Well, Tim, great to meet you. My name is Jason. I'm in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, and I just want to apologize to KE9BLU. I did not know, I don't know why I didn't hear on him, I do apologize. No, you're fine. Not a problem, I usually just my dashboard up here. I got a big flashing here. So that's my eyes, and I've talked to anyone in Denmark before, so it's an honor to do so. I hope everything's going well with you. I'm actually just sitting here doing a little FT8, and just seeing how far I can get out. I made Austria so far. But other than that, just sitting here in the shack, and just the WMR, 1191. That's a great to talk to stations all over the world as well. So back to you.
That's the name of it, but welcome to the net.
Thanks for coming back to me.
This is Oscar Zulu 13 Juliet Kilo responding. Yes, Jason, nice to to hear from you. Nice to have a conversation. There's no doubt about that. And nice to hear about that you're working some FT8, so that's very nice. It's very popular, this FT8 in Denmark. A lot of my fellow radio amateurs is using that sort of communication. Well, I'm not that much into it. I respect it, of course. I have no problems with it at all. It's just not in my interest, you know. We are all different, and we are finding our ways through our hobby. So you know, there's nothing right or wrong. Just do what you're finding interesting. I'm mostly into talking. I'm not that much interested in FT8. However, a lot of my friends are using it, and I know about it, and I respect it, and I know why they are using it, and I see no doubt about it. So I'm not that much of a skepticism, you know. I'm not that much against it, you know. So that's very nice indeed. I hope that you are getting some good contact through to your log. It's always nice to get something through. Actually, a friend of mine was using it earlier today. A friend of mine who and we were out in Mother Nature and doing some QRP transmissions. We have a nice spot with a bench and a table and trees around us and all of that. So I was active on the 6 meters with my homemade NFET dipole and a QRP radio, and my friend was using his antenna and was active on HF, and he was using FT8, and he was getting a lot more contacts than I. so it's very interesting, you know. So yes, matter back to you, Jason. This is Oscar Zulu, 13 Juliet Kilo, Tolkien in Denmark, Copenhagen.
Well, I'm using an ST710, the ST710 with an automatic dipole. It's a little over coils, antenna from over coils, and its max power on digital is 20 watts. So I like to use it just to see how far I'm getting out on 40 meters. 20 meters it doesn't do so well. I'm working on getting an NFET halfway because I live in an apartment. Don't have much of a backyard. So once I get that, I should be doing a lot better on 20 meters. Right now I run mostly 40, and so it's kind of cool just to sort of get on the PSK recorder and just see where my antenna's, you know, how far out it's getting there. Just on 20 watts, like I said, I've gotten an Australia tonight, so it's just kind of fun, you know. But I hear you, I like to talk as well. I'm a big talker, and I do enjoy 40 meters. But until I get something a little bit bigger where we have a backyard and I can throw up a good amount, maybe a good vertical or something. Right now I'm kind of limited. That's one reason why I do love the DMR. You know, it's even if the band conditions aren't the best, you always are able to reach out and talk to a fellow ham across the globe. Back to you.
Your vision, and it took a lot of years, but eventually I was getting there. The very first time that I took my vision to a fishing show, I got second place, and I loved every bit of it. I can tell male and female vision just by looking at them, and I hope I can do that again. This is Kilo Oscar 6, Bravo Golf Sierra, 33. We'll be standing by.
I'm mostly into the analog radio. However, you're correct about, you know, when the antenna opportunities is limited, then the DMR is the way to go, you know. So yeah, so it's a very interesting, this system, and it is working very, very well, no doubt about it. And there's a lot of nice people on here, you know. Everyone is kind and helpful, and you know, letting everyone through and everything. So that's very good. Everyone is getting their turn, getting their share of the conversations and all of that. Everyone is nice to each other. So that's nice. Yeah, well, Jason, I have been adding you to my log on 207.com, and I have sent a request for you to confirm our conversation. So if you would be so kind, that I would be most grateful. So, well, I'm listening to a potential final or comments or something. This is Oscar Zulu, 13 Juliet Kilo, passing the microphone to Kilo Charlie 3, Uniform November, India.
When you raise them, they really get to know the land, the lay of the land, where the gauge is, and there's some big money in little pigeons. People take them out far away and release them and have races. And they have rings around their feet, and they take those rings off and put them in a clocker and see how fast the bird got from one base to another. But after about 30 days or so, leave them in a cage. They get acclimated to the area, and you can let them loose and they'll fly around and work in order around the area and become very recognized base. But yeah, they're a breed of their own. Back to you.
All right, Raymond, thanks for sharing the differences there. Yeah, I suspected raising prize pigeons and carrier pigeons probably would be a very different part of the hobby, but intriguing to me nonetheless. So I have a question. So, thanks again for checking in and sharing such a unique hobby with us. That's awesome. All right, I know this guys have some good hobbies. We'll talk about you offline, but I know Captain's wondering, and hopefully he can do this as a plus what he's about to do here on this month. So let's hear from Bob. W6, welcome to the next Bob.
Hey, good evening, Darren, and everyone on the Saturday Night Roundtable. Thanks for doing it tonight. Great job, great topic. They always seem to come out, even if we think they're not going to be. It happens to be a lot on the outdoor. Never know until you try, right? And I don't know I'm going to follow what Raymond is. Pigeons, that's a pretty cool one. I mean, we have parrots. We have a parrot. I guess that kind of qualifies for something. Yeah, I go way back, like, motorcycle riding and racing at one time was a big hobby. Pretty much my whole childhood. We do two inches sports and things. I mean, like football and weekend or fighting motorcycle and other that kind of thing. And then growing up in our house, camping, rock climbing, on the bucket rock. And then later in life, came down to beer up in the Lake Tahoe area and worked at Squaw Valley a couple of years. Had some really good time with that. Love maybe so.
But this one, like you just said, it's great to have such good friends. So, yeah, he and his brother, they both, his brother is an amateur, and so is Gil. His sport right here, he's in Conway, in the place where he lives in the way, we're all getting involved, my friend. 824, no, 0613, DK. We're all getting involved, 7, right. But it doesn't matter. All right, I won't hold it for too long. I've got a couple of things that I need to do. So I'll just cover the place, take a look, good to catch up with you again. So, also, one thing, JK, cheers for now, and we'll catch up with you again at the very best day, gentlemen. So, cheers, mate. And both of us from coming out in Denmark. Cheers, brother.
You know that I would say the challenge was thrown out by Cecil. With the amount of musicians we have in the Papa system and the amount of audio engineers we have, I think we'd be able to put together a pretty good band. So I know he wants to assemble the band for the next picnic. So hopefully that comes to fruition. And someone tells me, Bob, you'll be a big part of that plan. So we'll see what happens there. All right. And you were right. Our other partner in crime here, Evo, K06BKX. I'm sure he's at work. He's always at work. Evo, welcome to the net.
So it's going to be very warm today, I expect. So yeah, well, I'm not that much into these hot days, so I'm not a sun worshipper. I just burn, you know. So I'm just sitting here. I'm not sitting by the fire. I'm sitting by the ventilator, hoping to get really warm. So I'm just sitting relaxing. So no exaggerations, just relaxing. So yeah, well, Alfred, I will not keep you on any longer. I wish you a good time in your country. Nice for you to call. And you know, it is a good thing to have friends on the radio. You know, if you want to tell you something. If I'm sitting and it's a bit depressed, you know, every now and then, it is possible. I think, if I'm a bit depressed every now and then I turn on one of my radios. For example, this radio that I'm using now for the Brandmeister, and then when I'm sitting and listening to a few conversations, then I am getting into a better mood because I'm starting to think I'm starting to think about what people are talking about on the radio. And then I'm sitting and getting happy, you know. So the radio is a good medicine, you know. Against depression, I tend to think. Of course, radio is not solving every problem. However, it is something that is good. Well, in some situations. Well, Alfred, as mentioned just before, I will not keep on any longer. But thank you for calling. 73 to you. Yeah, right. You know, I agree. You get to learn a little bit more about all the different members and people you hear in the air every day. You know, we listen to each other, we talk to each other on the radio. Sometimes we never get to meet each other since the Papa System's coverage is so large. You may never meet each other, but you get to learn from you know, a little bit about each other. You understand that? That's what makes this net pretty unique. We can cover all the other topics that the net spoke. So, and yeah, I'm kind of living. You know, I kind of consider myself semi-retired after retiring from the military after a full career. Now I kind of just work the amount that I want to work, and I got a pretty flexible job, and I don't think I would do well if I didn't have anything to do. So this kind of keeps my mind engaged, and I get to stay involved a little bit with the military as a contractor, and without all the stress that's involved in it. So I totally understand, and I think you should continue to take a break. You know, when you're own boss, you can take a break as long as you want. So you go and do that, Evo. All right, we'll chat offline. I want to hear more about the radio show. Okay, that brings me to the last person here on my round 2 list, K06 Delta Tango Echo. Eric, welcome to the net.
All the best, man, and thank you for coming back to talk to me. Cheers, and thank you, and God bless you. All the thanks for your time. You got to do your game. Silent. Ready?
So I give that let's just hang around and not just liking and actually just spend time sometimes we go doing nothing. I've always enjoyed music. There were stations to pick up in music. So together stereo system, and of course with that, you gotta have software. I'm sitting around in the show where there's 200 CDs up to the music lane. And as far as the system goes, I had a diesel play. So music was always on the damn radio. And you know, that kind of keeps me busy. Yeah, the trouble, mostly. My wife may disagree, I don't know. At any rate, that's great. I guess we're just confident in my work. Anyway, back to that, K06ET. Let's see, I think I heard Ruben in Fallbrook, and I think I got nice to hear you. And I do have a problem, a small one. It's just that I can't get the internet, not on this one, on this radio. I rubbish through my place for the things that I've got here in the job boxes. And I need to get the what they call it, the internet. So I try and get it up
on the type of new machine. Well, it's not new machine, so it's not the right machine, but it's okay. Gil. And also, I seen the photographs of the group. God bless her. God bless her, Gil. And she was a nice lady that makes us things, and I am sorry to see that she has gone or passed. But that's the way it is, my friend. What else can we do? Anyway, how everything going? I hope everything's okay with that, too. Right before I see how to get to see you. Do you want to go to final 520, Gil?
Okay, well, you did it in the past, or you're currently still doing it. We'd love to hear a little bit more about you outside the radio hobby. Anyone?
So tomorrow, I'm going to a Herpaholics Anonymous meeting. Otherwise,
no problem. All right, Gil. I'll get you on final 520. Hey, cheers for now.
Otherwise, it was a pretty boring.
Like we got to the bottom of the list. Everyone anywhere. Last call. If anyone wants to jump in, and I will start wrapping things up.
I'm a logger from Elliott Bay. So beer o'clock actually happened Saturday night instead of Friday night. Logger doesn't really taste very good with pizza, but it tastes
that station out there in Texas. I didn't catch the call. Got cut off a bit. So key up, give it a second, and give that call sign one more time.
733388. I appreciate you on
That's Whiskey Alpha Zero Tango Alpha Edward Jackson. Locator of TA-5 section. Here's Hank.
And we love you back. Thanks for stopping by and reporting in on.
All right, sounds like we're going to wrap it up with Steve and Hank from Texas. I'm looking forward to hearing from him. Let's go back to Steve for his recheck. Welcome back, Steve.
Absolutely ideal. I've never had a like logger. Let's see, we had an IO from
All right, I can hardly wait to hear from Hank or Darren. This is KI6LOV. I just want to say that your net tonight illustrates something about the ONTOP system that I'm talking about before, and that is I have met people from all walks of life. Many people I never would have met in 100 years because of amateur radio and the ONTOP system. And I think it's fabulous. I just heard stories now. I want to talk with all these people, Evo and Raymond and John, and find out more. So you have opened up a can of worms, my friend, and I think it's going to be a good thing. KI6LOV, back to you.
Well, Steve, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, all the ONTOP members I talk with the most, I'd say Bob and Evo are at the top of the list, and I learned more about them tonight as well. So that's what I love about this net is you really do get to explore some of the other things outside the video. That radio is what has brought us together, and then you get to learn about so much more out of the person behind the voice. So that's why I enjoy going to a lot of the luncheons. But of all those don't realize we have 900 members in the office now, and you don't get to see all 900 at the luncheon. So to see them check into the nets and learn a little bit more about them, that's why I'm going to roll out the next craziness in my journey here on the Senate Roundtable. I was trying to bring in a podcast-style interview into a net format. Don't ask me how I'm going to do it yet, folks. I'm going to figure it out. Evo and Bob and I are going to get it tested, and once I've fine-tuned it and figured it out, we're going to bring on guests, and it'll be maybe we have a 20 or 30-minute discussion about the guest, interview style, and then check-ins get to come in and ask more questions about the guests and things like that. And we're going to get to know our POPA members and guests of the POPA system even more. So just another faction of the Senate Roundtable where we're kind of putting up on the bottom of the fun here on Saturday night. So I can think of no better way to wrap up the net tonight than to bring in a guest from outside the POPA system, and I'm looking forward to hearing from him. Whiskey Alpha Zero Tango Alpha X-Ray. Hank, out there in Texas. Welcome to the POPA system here in Southern California.
Radio, the residence RT73 should be reaching a hotspot in this house in which I live in. So yes, nice to get contact through to Brazil. Microphone back to you. This is Oscar Zulu, 13 Juliet Kilo.
Making beer, and I do a lot of grilling, and I do a lot of just gardening and stuff like that. And you talked to my wife already, so she probably told you everything. T0EECK, so that kind of sums it up there. And I love it.
I rely on a local so yeah, I'm using
IO from Jeffrey, and we're gonna, we have another IO, I think it was Tree, but I'm not sure of the goal. But anyway, let's talk to the people we can talk to, who want to actually Bob, hey Bob. So, it was nice, or today, so I've let you know, and everybody knows I've got certain fixation, we can pass after 2 after 7 tonight. So I set up the system, I got my audio recorder going, I got my radio going, made a point to take the quote off, and then it was really fun to get recording I could hit. Ran out, did my errand, came back 2 minutes later.
Now, they're just, I don't know exactly what happens inside of a type K thermocouple, but I think it's just a variable resistor in there. I don't think there's any other circuits, and I've done things like this in the past where you can feed the voltage in to override the sensor, and of course you have to do that with a diode. So I don't know the value that will work for me, and so I thought I'll put a pop there first.